the dark side of the music industry and Michael Jackson's legacy. Welcome to another episode of Most Famous Controversies from Showbiz. The music industry is no stranger to controversy. One of its most sinister practices has been the use of slave contracts. These exploitative contracts trap talented artists, forcing them to give up creative freedom and most of their earnings to the labels. Today, many performers dream of fame and fortune but unknowingly sign away their lives, becoming pawns in a larger game. Big labels promise hope and success but often end up controlling these artists completely. Let's explore how these contracts impact artists and dive deeper into how they might have affected the biggest pop star in history, Michael Jackson. Along the way, we'll address some of the most intriguing questions about Michael, including the theories around his death, his battle with Sony, and the idea that he might have faked his death. What are slave contracts? To put it simply, slave contracts are agreements where artists sign away most of their earnings and rights to the record labels. The labels often promise to invest in the artist's career but end up keeping a majority of the profits. Meanwhile, the artist gets only a small fraction of the revenue generated by their hard work. This practice has left countless artists trapped and desperate to escape, but the contracts make it nearly impossible for them to do so. Many feel like they've been tricked into slavery rather than achieving the freedom and recognition they were promised. Now, let's connect this to Michael Jackson, who not only became a victim of such systems but also fought back in ways that shook the music industry. Michael Jackson, the genius behind the music. Michael Jackson wasn't just a global icon, he was also a shrewd businessman. One of the best examples of his strategic brilliance is his response to Eminem's diss track. In one of Eminem's music videos, he mocked Michael's appearance and a past accident. Instead of publicly retaliating, Michael took a different route. He purchased the rights to Eminem's catalog through Sony ATV Music Publishing. This meant that every time Eminem performed or earned money from his songs, Michael Jackson got paid. This move was a masterclass in turning a negative situation into a win. It demonstrated Michael's ability to outsmart his critics and maintain his power in the industry. The battle between Michael Jackson and Sony. Michael Jackson's relationship with Sony started well but took a dark turn over time. For more than a decade, Sony promoted Michael's music and reaped massive profits. However, things began to sour when Sony started interfering with Michael's creative process and slashing budgets for his music videos. Michael publicly called out Sony, stating that he had generated over $7 billion for the label and accusing its CEO, Tommy Mottola, of being an evil man. He even went as far as to claim that Mottola was racist, deliberately suppressing the growth of black artists in the industry. Michael's statements led to widespread uproar and intensified his feud with Sony. In a surprising twist, Michael revealed that he had acquired 50% of Sony's music publishing rights, making him one of the most powerful individuals in the industry. This move not only ensured his creative freedom but also highlighted his business acumen. However, it also put him at odds with the industry's most powerful players, including Mottola. The tragic turning point. Michael's fallout with Sony coincided with a series of personal and professional challenges. In 1983, he suffered severe burns during a commercial shoot, which marked the beginning of his reliance on pain medication. Over time, these medications, along with plastic surgeries, altered his appearance and took a toll on his health. One drug, in particular, played a significant role in his life: propofol. It was administered by his personal doctor, Conrad Murray, to help him sleep. This dependency ultimately led to his tragic death in 2009. Michael was found unresponsive, and his death was attributed to a drug overdose. Murray was convicted of involuntary manslaughter but served only 2 years in prison. However, many fans and conspiracy theorists believe that Michael's death wasn't an accident. Was Michael Jackson murdered? Having worked closely with Sony for years, Michael had insider knowledge about the exploitation and corruption within the business. His public accusations against Tommy Mottola and Sony made him a target. Some suggest that Mottola orchestrated Michael's death to silence him. It's worth noting that Michael's doctor, Conrad Murray, was reportedly struggling financially. This has fueled speculation that he might have been bribed to administer the fatal dose of propofol. Michael's sudden death also occurred at a time when he was preparing for a massive comeback tour. Many argue that he was in good health for his age and that his death was far too convenient for those who wanted him silenced. Did Michael Jackson fake his death? Another popular theory among fans is that Michael Jackson faked his death to escape the pressures of fame and the dangers posed by the music industry. Known as the King of Disguise, Micheal was skilled at changing his appearance to move unnoticed in public. This theory gained traction when a man named Dave, a burn victim, appeared on a talk show shortly after Micheal's death. Many fans noted similarities in his mannerisms and voice, believing he might actually be Micheal in disguise. While there's no concrete evidence to support this claim, it reflects how deeply fans wish to believe that Micheal is still alive, the evil side of the music industry. Regardless of whether these theories are true, one thing is clear: the music industry is riddled with exploitation. Slave contracts, corruption, and power struggles have made it nearly impossible for artists to thrive independently. Michael Jackson's battles with Sony and his tragic end serve as a stark reminder of how brutal the industry can be. For aspiring artists, Micheal's story is both an inspiration and a cautionary tale. It highlights the importance of maintaining creative control and being cautious about the deals one signs. Michael Jackson's legacy remains unparalleled. His genius, both as an artist and a businessman, continues to inspire millions. While the circumstances of his death remain shrouded in mystery, his impact on the music industry and his fight against exploitation will never be forgotten. So, what do you think? Was Michael Jackson's death a tragic accident, a conspiracy, or a carefully planned escape? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.